Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Today I want to talk about energy. Um, I love this subject. By yesterday, I had written 43 pages on this subject because, the subject of inner energy is so rich, it's so fascinating and important. But to spare you a 50-minute talk, this talk will be a two-part series, and I'll give the second part week after next. But if you think about it, the quality of our life, the quality of our everyday is greatly affected by how much energy we have and the quality of our energy. The founder of Unity, Charles Fillmore, famously said, at 93 years old, I fairly sizzle with zeal, energy, and enthusiasm, eager to do that which ought to be done by me today. He was so vital. He was so alive, and age was just a number to him. In the Hindu, Tibetan, Buddhist, and Taoist traditions in particular, there's a belief that human life exists in two parallel dimensions, one being our physical body, which is matter, and the other being our subtle body, which is energy. It's also called the energy body. And, whether we consciously notice it or not, we're all very aware of energy, right? We are aware of each other's energy bodies. Someone can walk into a room and we can feel their energy. We can sense when someone is lit up, when they have a high vibration. We just want to be around them. And conversely, we can sense it when someone's angry, when they're we might feel like, okay, I'm just going to give them space. I'm just going to quietly give them space, and we do so. So every one of us has this enormous wellspring of potential energy inside of us. The Sanskrit word for this inner energy is kundalini. Kundalini. Kunda means coiled. And the kundalini means invisible energy coiled like a serpent that lies at the base of our spine. In India, Kundalini is personified as the Divine Mother, as Shakti or Shakti Ma. And Shakti is the powerful primordial cosmic energy. And so this feminine cosmic energy, this creative power at the base of the spine, travels up the spine to unite with the masculine power at the top of the head, which is called Shiva, or supreme consciousness. And the seventh energy center is also called the Sahasrara chakra. Chakra is a Sanskrit word for circle or wheel. And so, these energy centers, these chakras, are where energy circles like a vortex. Now, our journey, our spiritual journey of awakening in matter, in form, in this body that we are, is a divine union of spirit and matter, of heaven and earth, of Shiva and Shakti, of the feminine and the masculine, of the yin and the yang, right? And our own body is this bridge. It's really amazing who and what we are. The chakra system originated in India over 4,000 years ago. And this woman, Anadia Judith, wrote a great book called Eastern Body, Western Mind. And she wrote, together the chakras describe a kind of Jacob's ladder, connecting the polarities of heaven and earth, mind and body, spirit and matter. These polarities exist on a continuum, with the chakras as incremental steps that are embodied within all life processes. And each step upward moves from a heavy, well-defined vibrational state to a higher and subtler and freer form. And then each step downward brings us more into form, more into solidity, more into matter. You've heard people say they need to get grounded. They're not feeling grounded. They need to get grounded. In other words, what they're saying is they want to bring the energy down more into matter, more into the body, more into the base of the spine and feel rooted in the earth, feel grounded, feel solid, feel fully embodied. So I love this idea of the energy centers as a kind of ladder. And as we climb up the centers, we move from matter to more subtle energy. And as we climb down, we move from pure energy and consciousness into matter. We merge, the consciousness merges with matter. And part of our mastery is to consciously work with our energy body and learn to open and stay open to this powerful spiritual energy. And that involves releasing blocks, releasing blockages that just happen so that energy can move freely up and down the spine and energize every cell and give us a sense of well-being on every level. And we all have the ability to open and close, right? We do it all the time. We open and close our energy body. A lot of times it happens without us really being aware that it's happening. Here's an example. Say that you're in love and life is really good, but then your partner unexpectedly breaks up with you. And you find yourself getting really deeply and totally depressed. And you start just staying home alone. And you feel like you don't even have the energy to clean. So your house becomes a mess. And your friends invite you out, but you decline because you're just too tired to do anything. You feel depressed and you have no energy, and it feels like it's just going to be like this forever. Probably most of us have been there, right, at some point in our lives. But then something happens. The phone rings, and it's your ex, and they say, "Oh, sweetheart, I feel so bad. You know, leaving you is the biggest mistake I've ever made. And I realize now how important you are. And I feel like I can't live without you. Can you ever forgive me? And can I come over?" All of a sudden, you have this enormous amount of energy. You jump out of bed and you clean the house and take a shower and put on nice clothes, and it's almost instantaneous. And you're filled with energy from the moment you hang up the phone. What happened? What happened? You know, for months and months, you had no energy. And then out of nowhere, there is so much energy. And you get together with your partner and you take a walk in nature holding hands, and you stay up all night talking and you watch the sunrise, and you're still not tired. You're a bundle of energy and light. Well, what happened was your energy centers opened, and this tremendous energy just flowed into and through your heart like a river. And your life force became completely unblocked. And you experience a blast of the infinite energy that's actually always available to us. So the more we become aware of our energy body, the more we start to notice when our energy is blocked. And we develop skills in releasing blocks. And in that, we're more free of depending on outer circumstances to open us or to keep us open, right? So this Shakti, this Kundalini, this energy is our divine birthright. And the only thing that keeps us from always feeling it is when the energy gets blocked. Michael Singer, my first spiritual teacher who I met when I was 15, he wrote The Untethered Soul. He said there's a very simple way for staying open. He says you stay open by never closing. You know, it sounds simple. But he said that closing is a habit. And like any other habit, it can be broken. It takes effort, but it can be broken. So let's examine how a blockage happens, how an energy blockage happens. It happens through thoughts, through holding a thought, through having feelings, and through subconscious conditioning or habits. Say you're having a nice afternoon with a good friend and you're feeling a lot of love, but then they say something that feels critical and you feel kind of a pinch in your heart. I talked about heart pinches, one of my other talks. And you have a thought, that wasn't nice, you know, and you have a feeling, well, that criticism feels unfair. And then there's some old conditioning. oh, my mom used to criticize me with those same words, right? So all of that arises and creates a block where before there was just this nice open-hearted feeling with your friend. Sometimes if there's a block that's been there a long time, you know, it's kind of like this unhealed energy in us that gets stuck. Sometimes it gets stuck in the body. And something will happen in our outer circumstances that will trigger this block. And we might find ourselves reacting in a way that's like way overreacting. And you know, it's kind of like we might respond to just one small criticism with the hurt from like 1,000 criticisms that we heard throughout our life from our mother, right? um I want to pause now. This reminds me of a joke. There was this man who was telling his buddy over coffee one morning, I just don't think I can take it anymore with my wife. Every time we get into an argument, she gets historical. And his friend says, I think you mean hysterical. And he goes, no, I don't, I mean historical. Every argument we have, she'll go, remember that time when you did this and you did this and also this and this? We can get historical when we have this old unhealed block in us. So we really have three choices when we're triggered. We can run away and try to avoid the trigger. We can blame whoever activated the trigger, or we can explore, why do I feel triggered? Why am I feeling this pinch in my heart? All it takes is one moment of mindfulness, of taking a breath and exhaling, relaxing the reaction, and then exploring, what's really going on here? Why am I having such a big reaction? And that's the beginning of becoming free of that. Because in that moment, we sense, oh, there's an old wound here that wants my attention. And we can even welcome. This is when we really get good. We start to welcome the trigger. We are beginning to become really free of the blockage. And what's so great about that is then we don't have to control the outer environment so it doesn't touch our triggered places. Okay. And that's freedom. That's real freedom. A lot of modalities of body work and breath work focus on dissolving blocks, on releasing blocks. You know, I've worked with my massage therapist, gosh, 25 years. She knows my body, she knows my places, this place in my shoulder where I hold energy. And when she starts working that area, I start breathing. And I just, you know, the combination of, you know, hands on in that place in the body, because the body is the densest place to release blocks. We really sometimes need hands-on help. And then the breath, you know, really helps in the energy body to release. It's powerful. The meditation I shared earlier, the Taoist practice of the microcosmic orbit, I love this practice, and it really helps us become conscious of the flow up and down our spine. You know, our spine is really like this cosmic antenna. You know, when we are able, we can have so much energy and creative power. So I'd like to just kind of review that microcosmic orbit meditation, and just invite you maybe just for about 2 minutes to let's do it again, for those of you that you know are listening and didn't do the meditation especially. So we just want to sit with our spine straight. We want to lift the top of our head so we can actually feel space between each vertebrae. And you just really get in touch with this very center. You know, your spine is the center, the right and left body. So we feel our spine, we feel the base, we can almost feel tingling at the base of the spine, right there at the perineum. And then just get a sense of the space between each vertebra and the more subtle energy centers up the spine, all the way up to the top of the head. And then take a moment and see if you can just feel tingling energy right above the top of your head, right above there. And then you just align a breath in as you breathe the energy and visualize it up, flowing up the back of your spine to the top of your head. And as you exhale, you visualize it flowing back down the front of the body to the base of the spine. You feel this orbit. Breathing in, the energy flows up the back of the spine, top of the head. Breathing out, the energy flows back down the spine. It's powerful to do this practice. This practice was, I think, one of the first meditations I really did in earnest every day, and it really had profound results in opening up, especially the higher centers, energy centers. So I invite you to bring your attention back now to the talk, and I hope you might consider this microcosmic orbit practice. The orbiting energy in our body it's like a microcosm of the cosmos. Our Earth is orbiting. It's orbiting around the sun, and the pull of the sun and the moon is moving our oceans. So this is an excellent practice. There's another practice I recommend. Joe Dispenza has a wonderful meditation called Blessing the Energy Centers. And it's wonderful. It's a long guided meditation. It's fabulous. So you can find it on YouTube. In different traditions, and I realize that for many of you, perhaps some of this is review. So I hope you can just enjoy it as a review. And find something new, hopefully. But in different traditions, there are variations on the number of energy centers. It's a little different in Tibetan Buddhism versus Hinduism. But today I'm going to share from the yogic Hindu tradition of the 7 energy centers. The first energy center is called the Muladhara chakra, and it lies at the base of the spine, at the perineum. And this center is associated with the earth element and the color red. And this energy allows for our life and form. It allows for our survival in the physical realm. And this is what allows us to feel grounded and solid and rooted and connected to the earth, part of the earth. This is where we're connected to the earth, one with the earth, with the Mother Earth. If this energy is blocked, though, if it's stuck here at the base, we might feel stuck in survival mode, where we're not thriving, we're just surviving. And that can also be due to subconscious beliefs that we don't have enough, or we're not going to ever have enough. Unity has such great teachings on transforming scarcity beliefs into abundance consciousness, and that has to do with this energy center, the base chakra. So moving up, I want to spend most of the time on the second energy center today. This is termed the Svadhisthana chakra, and it's located between the base of the spine and the navel, and it's associated with sexuality, creativity, and emotions. And it's related to the element of water. You might have heard the term the ocean of emotions. This is where we feel the ocean of emotions, and it's associated with the color orange. When this center is open, we can experience enormous creativity and just an enormous flow of creative energy. When this energy center is blocked, or if it's out of balance, we can experience negative emotional states, difficult emotional states, blocks in our creativity, or struggles with our sexual energy, or confusion with our sexual energy. That feeling, some people talk about feeling like they got punched in the gut. You've heard that term, and that's this center. That's when this center is feeling disturbed. So our emotional well-being relies on regularly releasing the energies that can get stuck here. Energies can build up in blockage here, especially resentment, unforgiveness, and also the habit of blaming others for whatever we're going through. I saw a funny cartoon that's kind of a humorous view of how we can sometimes get stuck in a habit of blaming others versus taking responsibility. One day I'll sing you my song, The Lower Chakra Blues. I thought of singing it today, but it's a little bit raucous for church. But when I'm in person with you or when I do a concert, I'll sing you The Lower Chakra Blues. It's a funny tale about the lower chakras. But anyway, this cartoon, in this cartoon, there's this game show host saying to this woman, "Are you ready? Are you ready to deny responsibility? Then let's play Who's to Blame." And the game show assistant steps up on the stage with a smile and spins the wheel. And you see all these slots where the wheel can stop. And there's one for father, mother, economy, science, religion, and the X, my X. So, it's important to have a sense of humor about, all of this. It's important to make it light. That's why I wrote that song. But the Taoist teacher, Mantak Chia, he's got some great books. He talks about the importance of good emotional hygiene. We always take care of our physical hygiene and we shower and all that. That it's equally important to take care of our emotional hygiene. And that happens through a healthy understanding, awareness, expression, and release of our emotions. So before I close, I want to share 6 ways that we can clear blocks in our emotional center and in our creative energy center. The first practice, and one of the most important, is the practice of forgiveness. It's worthy of a talk. It's worthy of many talks. So I will speak on it soon and devote a whole talk to it. But I would like to recommend my favorite little book on forgiveness is by Jack Kornfield, The Art of Forgiveness, Loving Kindness, and Peace. One Christmas I gave it to everybody. It's just such a good book, such great wisdom. So letting go, forgiving, that releases blocked energy in the second chakra and also in the heart. The second practice is affirmation. I loved those affirmations Linda read today. They were all perfect for this talk. They went so perfectly. A simple affirmation for emotional wellness is every day in every way I am feeling better and better. We can create our own. We can create our affirmation that's custom made for our life. Number 3 is keeping a journal, probably something many of you do. I write my journal on my computer in Word document. But we need an outlet to fully express our feelings, uncensored, where we can, get our stresses out on paper. When we do that, we get it out of our mind and our body and our nervous system. The fourth practice is a really fun practice. I'd actually like to do more, and it's called laughing Qigong. Laughing Qigong. We lie down or we sit down and we begin laughing out loud. And we might not at first feel like laughing, so we might need to force ourselves at first, but we start by giggling. And then we allow it to take us into full belly laughs. I'd love to do this with you in person. I wish we were here in person right now for this. It'd be really fun to take a couple minutes and just laugh together. But when you're first doing it, it might feel it feels odd and awkward to just sort of force laughing. But after you get started, especially in a group, it starts becoming funny. Hearing other people's laughter, it starts becoming funny. And I've done this in retreats, and it's so healing. It's so releasing. So I sat on my couch the other night and tried this all by myself, and it is possible to do it and kind of get a kick out of yourself and have fun and release stress at the same time. Number 5, movement. Movement creates emotional clearing. I walk 4 miles a day, and I work so much out in those 4 miles. Dance is wonderful. Yoga. There's actually a yoga style of yoga called emotion yoga. There's videos of it online. And then the last tool I want to mention for emotional health is we can record a self-hypnosis exercise with our voice for ourselves. It's something Mantak Chia recommends, and he actually in his book, what is his book? It's The Eight Immortal Healers. He actually writes out a whole self hypnosis relaxation exercise. You can just record it on your phone or on Zoom, and you just read it, you know, with a nice, slow, calm, relaxed voice. And it's just a relaxation of your whole body. And it's just, it's wonderful to listen to. I taught yoga for years and I did a deep relaxation at the end, and it's very much like that. But when you put it in your voice, it has a special power. You know, it's kind of like sometimes I listen to my songs, certain ones of my songs, because it's my voice and it's my vibration and it just soothes me. So, in closing for today, I hope that this talk has inspired you to become more aware, more conscious of your energy body. And as I said, I'll give part two week after next when I'm back. The next two energy centers, moving up from the emotional center, the solar plexus, and then the heart center, are really important. And I feel like so much of humanity's evolution is in this move from the solar plexus, which is the center for power and love of power, up into the heart, where we actually empower love. That's a huge, huge movement, and where I think a lot of humanity's work lies. So may your energy be open. May your energy body be open, free, and unblocked. May you be filled with life giving Shakti, and may all beings experience profound well being. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're
And
welcome.
I'll pause for a sec so you can end the recording.
Okay.